Hello everybody. In today's video, we're going to take a good look at the business studies essay question. It's infamous, notorious, known for so many bad things. It's out of 40 marks and it trips a lot of you up. I know. This video is going to be applicable for grades 10 to 12. And this question here, question 6, it's been taken from the November 2024 paper 2. Okay, that is a matric paper, but CSR and CSI, you more or less deal with it every year. Like in grade 8 and grade 9, you dealt with it in EMS, just giving back to the community. In grade 10, 11, and 12 as well. Just the responsibility of the business to all relevant stakeholders. So I thought that this would be a nice, impactful question. Okay, so let's take a look at it. I'm going to read through the scenario, and then we'll have a good look at the breakdown too. So corporate social responsibility, CSR, and corporate social investment, CSI, allow businesses to be actively involved in the projects that are positively benefiting the community. So successful businesses strive to maintain the relationship between social responsibility and the triple bottom line, people, planet, profit, and to find ways to deal with unemployment as a socio-economic issue. So, simply put, the context that we've been given here is that CSR and CSI allow businesses to positively impact the community. And successful businesses, they always want to maintain a good relationship between their responsibility to society, as well as the environment, and to combat unemployment, especially in a South African context. Okay? So all examples that we give in a business essay need to be in terms of, it needs to be in terms of Mzansi. Okay, not DNA, just RSA. So, as with almost every essay that there is out there, we are always going to start with a nice intro. We're going to have 4 bodies, and we're going to have a conc at the end, the conclusion. So the introduction, introduce CSR and CSI. Give me a little teaser, the definition of it, definitions, the reasoning behind it. Tell me what you're going to discuss in this essay. That's going to be in the intro, and you get a solid 2 marks for it. After you're done with the intro, answer the questions. Now, as you can see, there's no mark allocation there, no mark allocation there, no mark allocation there, no mark allocation there. So you can see where I'm going with this. These 40 marks, we don't know where they're coming from. But in the memo, no one knows what the memo looks like, not even your teacher, if you are writing a matric final exam. We don't know what the weighting is going to be like. I mean, if it's internally set, I hope your teacher knows. Okay. So the purpose of CSI, that was for 8 marks. The impact of CSR on communities, 16 marks. The relationship between social responsibility and triple bottom line was 12. And how businesses can deal with unemployment as a socioeconomic issue, that was 10. We don't know this, so we write as much as we possibly can, only relevant factors. List everything using bullet points. That is of utmost importance. I don't want to see some ugly essay if I'm your examiner. Right, where you're just writing this big paragraph. I don't know what's going on there. Your handwriting is disgusting. It looks like a dog's breakfast. It's a mess. Write neatly, write legibly, in bullet point form. The tidier it is, the nicer it is, I'm probably going to be nicer to you as an examiner as well. That's just how it goes, my friend. So, as many bullet points as possible for the purpose of CSI, the impact of CSR, this relationship, suggestions, as many as you can possibly think of. And look, now you can kind of think about it, right? The purpose of CSI, that's probably not going to be all that big. There's not enough meat on that bone. The impact of CSR, well, you're going to discuss some negatives, some positives, the pros and cons, the advantages, the disadvantages. You're probably only going to give 2. So maybe you'll get 4 marks for advantages, 4 marks for disadvantages. Or maybe it could have been 10. Who knows? Write as much as you possibly can. The max will be stipulated in the memo. The relationship between social responsibility and triple bottom line, write as much as you can. Oh, sorry about that. I made a small mistake. At the max, you should have 4 advantages and 4 disadvantages. That's where your 16 marks is coming from. So as many as you can possibly think of. Then with the relationship, well, we want maybe 6 clear, succinct bullet points. Distinct. As much stuff that is relevant. So you can kind of get where I'm going with this. Write as much as you possibly can. But don't waffle. Don't make up stuff. Please. I'll start crying if I'm marking the paper. Please, you don't want to see Goon School cry. Make sure it's relevant. And then finally, in your conclusion, we tie everything together. Everything. We discuss the purpose of CSI and its importance, the key advantage and disadvantage, re-emphasize the relationship, and we just pick and choose the key suggestions that we've listed in our conclusion. So I'm sure you guys understand it like that, right? Your intro, your conclusion, and your body. Enough meat on the body, right? But now when it comes to insight, the layout mark is the easiest. Give me the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Give it to me exactly like that, I'll give you 2 marks. Easy. Your analysis and interpretation, well, have you read the context? This little paragraph, love letter that they've given to you. How have you interpreted it? Remember, this is all about benefiting the community, giving back to society, all that stuff that businesses don't actually do. Hashtag just saying. Are you discussing exactly what triple bottom line is? Have you gone through in depth what people, planet, profit is and how the planet relates to this? How people relate to this? How profit relates to CSR and CSI? How have you interpreted what they've given you? If you don't even discuss PPP, well, then you're not going to get any marks here at all. Synthesis is all about flow. So I like to look at synthesis in terms of examples as well. Always give things in the South African context. Unemployment, we've got the world's highest level of unemployment, wealth inequality, income inequality, the highest Gini coefficient that measures inequality. There's so much wrong with this country, society, our economic systems, our political spectrum. It's all a mess. The socioeconomics of South Africa is broken. And that is beautiful for a business essay. So by giving examples in a more South African context, or if you're living in Gauteng, something in Johannesburg, if you're living in Obeja, I really hope I pronounced that well. I was practicing before this video, chom. If you're living somewhere there, give it in the context of like the Eastern Cape, whatever it is. Give me real life examples. Be original, things that you can think of. And just having a better knowledge of the world and how it operates will help you tremendously in your business essays. Just have a good understanding of current events, what's going on in your province, in your city, in South Africa as a whole. Are we hiding money in the couch? Are we fighting with Musk and Trump? Who knows? Who knows? And then going to synthesis, does it flow? Like these 4 bodies, does it make sense? Does it like look nice? Do they lead onto each other? Are we using words like therefore, moreover, furthermore, to reintroduce our examples, our points, to just get some, it's just nicer to read. So yeah, examples in a South African context, yes. Synthesis is all about flow. Analysis and interpretation, it's all about the context, or the contextual that you have, not like this is English paper 2. And then the layout, going IBC, intro, body, conclusion. And sometimes you have 3 bodies, sometimes you have 5. It really just depends. So yeah, that is pretty much it for a business studies essay. That's how you do it. So when outlining the purpose of CSI, this is when a business commits money, resources, and time to a specific project. That's the purpose behind it. Don't milk that. That's a succinct point. It aims at contributing towards sustainable growth, development. It's enforceable by law and government. This is bound by legislation as well. CSR, for big companies especially, it's not optional. With some positives, the community will benefit because skills will be improved. We could be giving bursaries back to the community. We could establish better educational facilities in poorer communities. But some negatives? Well, maybe businesses are not always equipped to address social problems. And you clearly indicated in your essay. Here we have the positives. And then we have, I don't know why I wrote the negatives. Give as much as possible. And then, like we said, if you didn't know what triple bottom line was here, you're leaving so many marks on the table and you weren't standing on business. And then you can say, yes, people, planet, profit. I've said that like 4 or 5 times in this essay. There are so many important things. I mean, look, we were just touching the tip of the iceberg when they said triple bottom line. This is a whole thing. If you didn't know what that was, it's curtains for you. Then go back, do question 5. Goon School is brutal, I know, but I care for you guys. I want you to score as many marks as possible. And then some suggestions. And especially when they ask for suggestions, then you can bring things into like a local, South African, national, provincial context, whatever it is. If you live in the Karoo, put it in a Karoo context as well. We can provide skills development programs through learnerships. We use members of the community for implementing CSI projects in the community. We can provide entrepreneurial programs. Go as in depth as you can. And then in the conclusion, bring it all together. It's all for the upliftment of communities. Yo, what a tongue twister that is. Upliftment. Businesses must also take challenges and problems of CSR into consideration before, well, deciding how to be involved in the community. So we need to factor in absolutely everything before we engage in a CSR activity. So yeah, that's it. And we can apply this to pretty much every essay. We can just keep breaking it down over and over and over again. And you do this regardless of whether it's paper 1 or paper 2. Look, this is for business studies. Look, for history essays, for English essays, it's completely different. This is for business. Even for ecos, it's a bit different too. It follows a similar format, but it's a little bit different. So yeah, grade 10s, 11s, and 12s, you are doing this for both paper 1 and paper 2. The structure looks exactly the same for all 3 grades. Layout, analysis, synthesis, originality, this whole lasso, that's where it's coming from. That never goes away. And that's 8 marks you're leaving on the table. That's 20%. And the introduction and conclusion, that's an easy 4 marks. So do you see here? 12 out of 40 marks. They're easy, they're chips. Just give me an introduction or conclusion, and then give me a bit of insight as well. 30% for mahala, and then you pass. Well, you don't pass. It's the 40% pass mark here is for business. But come on, you shouldn't be getting 40% for business. You know, this is not like maths, okay, when, you know, it's absolutely killing you. Business is considered a slightly softer subject, so you can absolutely nail this down. Okay, you can do this. I believe in you. Regardless of whether you're watching this in June or for prelims or for finals, whatever it is, you got this. I believe in you, and keep practicing, keep rehearsing, blurt it. If you're going through forms of ownership as well, say it out loud. Say it to your dog, your cat, whoever. Get them involved in your studying too. But you need to know things here, guys. A lot of the stuff is not just general knowledge. You can't just make up stuff. Just to talk about the triple bottom line for the 4th time, you can't make it up. You need to know exactly what it is. So go out, study. Business studies, as they say, a lot of people say it's an easy A. It's not. It's not an easy distinction. It's easy to pass, yes. But to nail down an A, you need to understand these ins and outs and break down this mark allocation so that everything is working in your favor. And you need to strategize. Okay, you got this. I believe in you. See you in the next video.